Excessive Celebration back here on Crossover Radio. Scott Owens, Billy Bell. Now is the time to go out and get that app. Get that app. Swing for the fences and get that app.
Proper trajectory.
Yeah, you got to find out the launch angle. Make sure your signal's up.
Failure to launch.
Failure to launch. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It's very technical.
Major League Baseball, Scott.
Woo-wee! Playoffs are here, and it's been exciting so far. I really locked in yesterday evening watching some baseball.
Nobody told the Twins that the playoffs were here.
It was an 11 a.m. start in Lubbock for them, and they just didn't wake up in time.
You know, the Twins, the AL has been kind of one-sided. NL.
Two-sided, actually.
Yeah. NL's looked a little closer, but the Twins kind of petered out at the end.
Hence, Twinkies. I had a friend from that part of the world years ago when, let's say, Minnesota wasn't playing up to their normal standards, and people up there called them the Twinks and the Vi-Queens.
Yeah.
Now you probably have to go to do community service. You said something like that. So I certainly am just repeating what somebody else said. The views expressed here aren't even my own.
This video has been edited.
You were talking Scherzer, Bill. I got one stat for you.
Okay.
And then he's throwing a mile per hour faster in the National League Division Series game that he played with his fastball than he did in the wild card game.
So are you saying drug test?
I just think he's got his adrenaline up a notch or two.
Yeah, Scherzer. I know we have the argument of, or even the Nationals fans had the argument of, who should we throw, Scherzer or Strasburg? Scherzer or Strasburg? You can't go wrong either way. Like, you go based on rest, you go based on whatever, but you can't go wrong either way. Just because one pitcher came in and looked amazing and the other one still looked pretty good, it's Matt Scherzer. Come on, like.
Yeah, it's wrong when they lose.
He's been an ace for 10 plus years now?
Is this more of that overthinking, Bill, that we were talking about earlier? Is this some more of, man, if we got to set this because it's really going to be, we got to have Scherzer in game one of the pennant.
Well, and
series.
I mean, I can't think of one pitcher besides Max Scherzer that I would want on the mound to close a game out right now. And especially in playoff time, maybe Bumgarner, but even now Bumgarner's kind of lost a little bit. But I mean, it's hard. Strasburg really hasn't proven everything in the playoffs like Scherzer has. I just feel like Scherzer should be your guy, but again, it's based on rest. If it's Scherzer, if it's Strasburg's time, then you throw Strasburg. I'm not going to argue either way.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But it's interesting. So both on the NL are tied up at 2-2. Who do you got, Scott?
Well, who do you
hope?
Okay. I hope that there's nobody wearing Dodger or Cardinal uniforms when it's over, would be my hope. But, my guess is they'll probably go those ways. But I give the Braves a little bit more hope than I do the Nationals Wednesday night. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll be the Braves and Natties. I'd like that.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Braves and Nationals. So let's project, if we will. So say, because we've already put the jinx on now that the Cardinals and the Dodgers are going to be playing.
So we need to break that down now?
Well, and no. The full expectations, you're going to see every single picture. You'll probably see Scherzer in there at some point. If Strasburg struggles, you're going to see everybody. They're going to hold somebody back. The bigger question is actually on the other side, And I think the thing that that a lot of people aren't talking about is how about the ineffectiveness of Mr. Zach Greinke. We've all known about his issues involving the surrounding area. So being on a big stage, he kind of struggles with, right? So if I'm the Astros going forward, I'm throwing Greinke only in home games.
Yeah, because you don't want any of that road hanky-panky with Greinke.
Because even with Tampa Bay only having, I think it was like 37,000 people, they limited the stands for whatever reason, because that's an issue.
Because the ceiling's tilted.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
So,
that is one strange looking place, by the way.
It's weird. So they limit the number of fans that can come in or seats that they can offer.
What?
They pan out to the picture of all these fans. So you obviously behind home plate's full up, around the baselines are full up. Then you go into the upper deck where you've got gaps of about 200 to 500 seats that are empty.
KU football.
But it's still that noise, that environment affects Greinke for some reason. Pitch is great in most games. I think you start Greinke because now you've got, Verlander going tonight?
Yep.
So you got Verlander. It's probably going to be closed out tonight. If not tonight, then Garrett Cole, who was untouchable the last game. You've got Garrett Cole as your fallback, which not a bad fallback plan.
Right.
But I think if it goes the way it goes, then I think you've got to throw Greinke only in home games at Houston. However that works out or however that shakes out. Their fourth starter, I don't know that they have one. Wade Miley, I guess, but you just pitch those three guys all the way through, and if you get up on a team where you're 3-1 or 3-0, then I guess you throw whoever out there. But I'd get a little bit scared because eventually I think Verlander's going to get touched up a little bit in at least one game, probably by the Yankees. I don't think it's going to happen with Tampa Bay, but the Yankees' ability to hit the long ball, and occasionally Verlander will give up a long ball, that if you're going to win a couple of games or at least two, it's going to be against Verlander and it's going to be against Greinke. It won't be against Cole because his stuff is nasty.
Right. Well, I mean, the pitching was just watching it the last couple of days, just thinking, man, how does anybody hit any of those
Oh,
guys?
yes. And we were talking before the show, the number of arms that came out of the bullpen for Tampa Bay and the different arm angles. I don't remember the guy that was falling off backwards, right-handed pitcher that falls off the mound backwards and throws a split finger, or throws a slider, excuse me.
Yeah.
That just, it looks like it's an unhittable pitch because of the angle that he's almost at a 45-degree angle off the mound, throwing it back towards you as a right-handed hitter, and then all of a sudden it breaks and drops. Good luck. Not to mention the side armors that they can bring out. I mean, it's scary. Chad Morton pitched really, really well, a former Astros pitcher. He's always had kind of an up and down career, but when he's on, he's as good a pitcher as there is in the league. Do we know who's pitching for Tampa Bay? Is it Snell?
I'm not sure, Bill.
Or no, it's probably Glasnow.
You know what? I failed you there.
You failed me.
I'll have to let you know.
So, yeah, if you haven't...
Bear with me.
Again, and what I've been saying all year long is Tampa Bay, I feel like this is their year. They got their kind of one win against the Astros, and they've got a lot of good building blocks. Glasnow is a better pitcher than I thought he was. Electric stuff. Morton, if you can keep him healthy and get him kind of on a positive track, could be a solid number 2, number 3. Blake Snell, I know, has dropped off a little bit, but Blake Snell is an ace.
Castillo's pitching.
Castillo? You might see a lot of pitchers in this game.
Well, you got to use them all, don't you, if you have to.
At what point, if you're a manager and you know your season's on the line, so this is their fourth guy, right? So this is not one of their aces. This is their fourth guy, and he's going in. How many runs do you allow him, or how in trouble do you allow him to get before you bring in somebody else?
Boy, I would say if you give up a run and you've got somebody in scoring position, after one run and somebody in scoring position with less than 2 outs,
Right.
he's done.
I would probably agree with that. Especially with the amount of arms, because you've only got to win 2 games, but you got to keep one of them. So that's the whole situation that the National League's in.
Right, right.
So if I'm
that's-
throwing Strasburg,
But that's what makes this so interesting
Yeah.
to me, that everybody's got to deal with the same issues here.
I would think the only pitcher you would not see for, we'll say, the Nationals is probably Corbin, because just in case we make it, we might need a starter.
Got to have somebody.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
So, I mean, the NL could get real beat up by the time the World Series happens, just based on pitching. I know there's going to be days of rest in there, but you could be looking at a scary pitching staff. And then on top of that, if we think what's going to happen does happen and the Astros make it, that now you got to face Cole, Verlander, Greinke, and you figure it out with your starters of who you're going to throw against those guys.
Yeah, at that point, if you're the Yankees, you got to be counting on your own long ball. I don't think you're gonna methodically outpitch the
No.
Astros, but you've probably got the bats that can at least keep it interesting.
Yeah, and I would say the Cardinals have surprised me a little bit of how well they've hung in there. The Braves are kind of giving games away at this point.
Did you have a feeling yesterday that the Cardinals were in trouble? I actually thought they were. I even thought they were until about the 7th inning or so when they tied it up.
I don't know. Sometimes in sports you can kind of get that feeling, and then that team kicks it on or kicks it into gear to where they start, I don't know, whether it be hitting, running the ball, or catching the ball, or whatever it may be.
Yeah. With baseball, it may only take one thing. It could take a wild pitch. It could take the ball coming off the catcher's glove, which we saw happen.
And sometimes it's just, one hit and that sparks a team or whatever it may be. But it's weird. I never got the feeling that they felt like they're in trouble. I think they've put up a better fight in this series than I thought they would. I thought the Braves would 3-1. I thought they'd get a game, but I didn't think they would tie it and force them to a Game 5. So on that aspect, I mean, the Cardinals have outplayed what I thought they would do, but I really am pulling for the Braves. But you never know. I mean, their pitching staff's up and down all year. They could easily give it up too.
Well, and they got guys that sometimes choose to play hard and sometimes have to apologize for not hustling.
Yeah, if you want to be a superstar in this league and get paid like a superstar and not be, Ciel Puig, who still gets paid, but not to the level he could have gotten paid, then just run. I mean, it's as simple as that. Just run. Hustle.
Who doesn't like to run?
Well, I don't.
Who besides Billy doesn't like to run, and me?
My wife.
Who besides the three of us? Oh, well, Carol doesn't run.
Oh, well.
She runs from me. I'm not running that fast, so it's not that big a deal.
So tonight, I will say the Astros wrap this up.
Yeah, I got to agree with you.
Tomorrow, come on Braves, come on Nationals.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too, but if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably pick it the other way.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, we've already put the jinx on, so.
Just because it's a cold, cruel world.
Yeah, we've already put the jinx on. It's over.
When we come back, Bill, let's talk a little bit about. There's something. It's the State Fair of Texas.
Ooh.
Down in Dallas.
That's happening?
Yeah, there's like a cornhole game or something they use the Cotton Bowl for. So we'll talk about that when we get back.
Excessive celebration on Crossover Sports, reminding you, everybody pull for the Braves and that app.